This tour is presented by Merritt Kitchens. Your tailored kitchen awaits.
We're on the 45th floor in a downtown condo with beautiful views and a big open space. It was a perfect place to decorate, and I was very excited to be involved. When I first saw the space, I was just amazed by the views, to be honest. It has high ceilings and it had this really beautiful herringbone floor, which gives it a little more history or pedigree than most brand new condos. The kitchen was really dark, so that was one of the things we wanted to change, but the rest of it was mostly decorating, like figuring out the space planning and how my client was going to live in the place. When you walk in the condo, you immediately see the view. There's a beautiful sight line of the breakfast table sitting in front of the window, and it really just draws you in. The condo was designed to be a 3-bedroom, but it was turned into a 2-bedroom by the builder, so it has some nice oversized living spaces. The living room, dining room is the main space in the condo and where my client spends most of her time. There's an oversized sectional sofa by Silva. It's in a beautiful cream. We then grounded the sofa with a peachy toned rug, which is a color we use throughout the space. There's an oversized channeled cocoon/nest chair, which she loves. And I love this chair because it looks really great from the back and you see it from the back when you enter the space. The rest of the furniture is warm and different textures, and also lots of white painted metal, a bookshelf which is white, and just keeping it light and bright and airy, but then grounding it with some more color, like through accent pillows, accessories, and lots of books. With the wall removed with what was the second bedroom, it's left with these beautiful columns that I quite like because they're a nice architectural feature and really divide the living space from the dining space. Because the dining area is quite narrow, we opted for a banquette bench. It's a great space-saving solution because you can just slide in versus having to pull out a chair or move around the entire table. It leaves lots of room on the opposite side for chairs. We've used a more country-style dining table with its trestle leg and the light wood, and then repeated that same wood on these woven dining chairs, which are quite comfortable. Because the dining room was so long, we had some extra space at the end next to the window. My client had asked for a place to read, and when her mother comes to visit, she loves that spot. The view from that spot is also pretty incredible. You see all of downtown Toronto and most of the water as well, and it's a perfect place to sit and read and just look out. The space that would normally be the dining room in this condo was left empty on purpose. It works well because it's in the center of the home. It works for my client when she's doing yoga or just generally moving through the place feels a little more luxurious. So the kitchen, although was just an update, was the biggest transformation because it was the builder kitchen. It started out in a dark wood finish and it was lovely, but too oppressive with all the lightness that we were trying to add to the space. So we had new doors made in a beige color, which works well with the rest of the space, and replaced the backsplash with a Caesar stone concrete look. The counter is actually the original, and I really love it with this painted cabinetry. It feels so much more fresh because the tones work well together versus the contrast of the dark cabinets and the lighter countertop. We are lucky enough to have beautiful meal appliances already in the space, including an integrated fridge. We also replaced the lights and changed the hardware, but the look is very simple, very minimal, and I like how that plays well with some of the other pieces we have throughout the place. The principal bedroom is quite light and bright, but I wanted it to have more color. A trick to adding color, especially when you're dealing with higher ceilings, is to just paint the ceiling a color. We chose this dark, dusty rose, which doesn't make the room feel small and really, I think, draws your eye up and exaggerates the ceiling height. You immediately see this beautiful contemporary light fixture. It's a good, generous space. There's room for 2 side tables, a beautiful dressing mirror, and a long dresser. Art is also another important thing in this room. It gives some oomph and some color, but mostly it's pretty zen and pretty chill. I do love the checkerboard rug. It's very trendy, but the color works really well and a nice link to the rest of the space with that peachy corally shade. The second bedroom is painted chamomile by Farrow & Ball. I love that color. I've never been able to paint an entire room that color since I was working at House & Home, I think, producing stories. So it was cool to have this wrapped around the room. We did the drapery in the same color and then found this beautiful lamp that is the exact same color. So to keep it feeling contemporary, we just used that color on everything versus keeping the trim white. It would feel a little more fussy and maybe too precious. We kept the entire main living space and the main bedroom white, and I didn't want it to feel boring, but the reason was because of all of the drop ceilings and bulkheads and radiators and vents, and the minute you paint things a color, you're drawing your eye to that, where if you want that to disappear, keep it all white, and the imperfections in the architecture will be recessive. I really think painting the walls white works, especially when you have the dark contrast of a wood floor. And truly in Canada, where there's not a lot of light, especially in the winter months, it's important to have light in your space, and the best way to do that is to have light walls. Hey, I'm Joel Bray. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure to check out some more of my videos on House and Home. Also, like and subscribe.